How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be featuring the Colbert, the legendary tier French light cruiser that is not available anymore except for super prizes in the Christmas crates, which is kind of unfortunate. I feel like it's because, well, this thing is kind of ridiculous in the right hands, but then in the average player hands they kind of explode because they just sail broadside. But yeah, they still don't really know how to balance it, as this is a light cruiser with battleship armor for some reason. And I mean, they could always go the route of Minotaur. I mean, give it paper thin armor. I mean, it's still a big citadel, but then give it a little more HP and a super heal. I mean, I feel like that probably would make a lot more sense for what it is. Enemy defense, kiting off to the corner, kind of a issue because Quarter Pen and HE, not Colbert's best friend, especially because these turrets are kind of fragile. Enemy gearing gets spotted trying to fight our friendly destroyer. Friendly ship activates a radar behind us, and luckily for us, we did do quite a bit of damage. The build I'm using is actually our, I guess you can call it the 1 million AP DPM build. So we do have quite a nasty reload, and I mean, even though the gearing does get spotted very briefly, I think it was Chung Mu's radar actually, we are able to finish off the gearing, fortunately for us. There is an enemy Stalingrad behind us though, behind the island, not wanting to move from that island, and he also didn't use his radar for the gearing, which was kind of interesting. I feel like it would have made sense for the Stalingrad too, especially because, I mean, long range Russian radar, he probably could have caught him and made it a lot more useful. We get spotted on sonar, so something is pretty close to us, and we find out it is the enemy Lushun. We do want to try and get him off the board, as the Lushun, I mean, as we all know, is one of those deities that are somewhat busted. So if we can get him off the board quickly, I mean, that's just going to help us out in the end. Lushun trying to sail away as quickly as he can. I think he also wasted his smoke that is currently there on the left. Luckily though, we turned into beach on the island, although our engine is out because the defense's HE incapped our engine, and we're in a pretty bad spot where if the defense that has improved pen angles, basically on par with Baltimore, just simply switch to AP, I think we would actually get dev struck. But you can see one of the funny things we can do with Colbert though against this Stalingrad, which is when we're in a bow-in fight, Stalingrad just stands no chance because Colbert's DPM is just absolutely ridiculous. Even though these are destroyer caliber guns, the amount of shells we put out, I mean, Stalingrads will just not stand any sort of chance, especially because he's only shooting AP. We finally are able to reverse away after repairing our engine, but Stalingrad basically lost all of his HP trying to fight us while we're just sitting bow in, and there's not really much he can do. Even Montana with his full salvo of AP, I mean, we're just tanking it because we have battleship armor, which is always funny to see. Also, enemy Montana is just sitting broadside, so we finally decide to switch to AP and see what our sort of 1 million AP DPM can do, especially now that we have actually finished off 3 ships, and we're getting 15% more damage. With Andrew Lip as an inspiration, this AP DPM is just going to be absolutely nasty as we start hitting him. Montana just sitting there, we finally went and spotted, but unfortunately I think the defense finally pushed around the corner of that island. Friendly battleship finally decided to also push in, although Stalingrad is actually still just sitting all the way in the back. Would have been nice if he kind of pushed in to put pressure on the either Montana or the enemy defense. We pop another one of our heals. Montana, I mean, is just basically melting under our AP, and yeah, I mean, there's not much he can do. He takes a shot at us, but we just simply turn in and bounce most of his shells. I think he got 1 pen, but the Montana just absolutely melted, and just like that, we have 162,000 damage and 4 kills. Enemy team absolutely folded to our Colbert just sitting bow in and tanking all of their shells. Again, this thing underperforming in the average player's hands, making this thing get another buff at some point in the future. They just don't know what it's going to be yet. I mean, being able to do what we just did, I don't know if we really should be able to. But then again, there's a lot of ships that were pretty good that got buffed because I think majority of the player base underperformed in them. Looking at Fletcher and Baltimore, which is kind of funny. It just never seemed like a ship that even needed to get a buff in the first place. But it did. It got one, and it's going to get a second one at some point, which is... I mean, I can't wait to see what they do. Imagine a reload boost on these guns that already reload quick. I mean, that's what I kind of see. Maybe a radar. Then all of a sudden this thing is demented. I can't wait to see what their balance department comes up with. Enemy defense, reverse behind the island, and now we're kind of in a good spot where we can just simply farm here. Kind of far away though, not leading enough now that Laria is actually speeding up. So unfortunately, we're not able to get a Kraken. Enemy defense though finally pushing out. I'm a little worried he finally discovered the AP shell ammunition type, so I just simply turn away as much as I can. I know I'm going to beach into the island, but I just simply wanted to try and not get Citadel, as he does take a pot shot at me rather than the enemy GK. Stalingrad also finally started pushing in, which is kind of nice. Enemy defense though, at this point he can't smoke up to disengage, so we kind of just start focusing him down, even though we're going to get a lot of shatters because it's destroyer caliber HE, and we can't really do a whole lot when our shells are shattering most of the time. We just need to do our best to stay angled and not really get death struck because I am still greedy and I want my Kraken. Enemy defense does try to smoke up, and he is actually going to beach on the island. Enemy battleship pushing in. Not the best situation here. I somehow need to angle to the battleship, but while also not being broadside to the defense, which is going to be a little tricky here. Enemy Delaware fighting our GK with the defense kind of hiding behind the island. It looks like he doesn't really have a shot at me now that he's turned away. So this is a pretty good opportunity to finally push out and start shooting this Delaware, who is currently shooting at our GK. We're trying to hit the tumor that gives us the flattest angle that we can deal damage to. And with just our front guns, we are absolutely melting him. And we are not going to get our Kraken because enemy fire from the GK, sorry, not enemy fire, but friendly fire from the GK, does actually burn him down rather than our DPM. Kind of unfortunate. Probably should have put all of our guns on him to get the DPM that we needed to. We switched to AP on this defense as he's the last one, and we still want our Kraken. And it would be a shame for this Stalingrad, who's been hiding most of this match, to finish off the defense. We switched to HE because now he's turning flat broadside. He has so little HP, and our shells finally land on him, doing 800 damage. And we do secure our Kraken. Would have been really tragic to have an epic start to the match, basically taking care of the entire enemy team on our own while our GK and Stalingrad were hiding, and then only after did they decide to push in, as I mean, we 4,400, basically 45, just round it up, and the next person's not even at 2k. Would have been an extremely tragic match to not get a Kraken in. Can you imagine? All the 4-kill games that we had, always one shy, being trolled. I think we also had 3 assists, so we basically dealt with the entire enemy team, basically. But yeah, Colbert, Wargaming not knowing how to make this thing balanced and fair, because I think the players that know what they're doing can do what I just did, but then the average player has no clue, so they're going to give it a buff, and then the people that know what they're doing does even better. And then the average player, I mean, I guess does a little better. I mean, I don't know what they can do. Remove the Citadel, I guess. Turn this into a DD, like that Italian thing on PC now, the Barbiano. I mean, maybe. Turn it into a DD, a gunboat DD, who knows. But yeah, Colbert. That's pretty much it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed that absolute dumpstering of the enemy team. And if you did, leave a like and subscribe for more, and share it with your friends, or leave a comment down below for other ships you want to see in the future. But anyway, guys, till next time, aloha.